So Joe Biden went out there today and he gave I guess like an 18-minute, did a show and good for him. I mean, I think that a lot of people were waiting for him to do something. Um, I, I'm glad. This is something I specifically called for on Friday, for him to come out and do these shadow briefings, and he's doing them now. I think they could do a better job, but I'm trying to be generous with my assessments. I know how hard it is to set up stuff in your house remotely. I imagine, or one would imagine, that they have more resources than we do to do this type of thing. And frankly, like, I'm a little bit concerned about some of the stories that are coming out about, in Politico and The Hill, where they're saying like, stuff of like, they're, the headquarters and campaign trail now run through Biden's living room as his staff scrambles to increase his social media outreach to compensate for the social distancing. First of all, they were already planning to socially distance him. So one would think that they would have thought some of these things through. But the first step, installing a better video camera in Biden's house. Installing. I did this. What I'm doing right now, I did this for MSNBC with a camera that is, I don't know, $300. That's basically the top of the line webcam. Maybe it's not the top of the line, but I imagine they could go like, we're going to get an $800 webcam. And this thing is pretty awesome. I don't even know what the name, I don't know where I got it, but this thing, look at this thing. I can do this. I can do this. Look at that. All right. I can zoom in. Like that. Whoa. And are they really like, this just plugs into the computer. This just goes into Skype. This just goes, you could go directly to YouTube to this. I mean, we're doing a fairly sophisticated thing. I assume he's not rolling in different video elements, but even if he is, we're doing it. This should be able to be done by a major presidential campaign. And this is not like day one. I get it. They're scrambling, but it's not like they had a whole list of things that they were going to go do outside of, I think, maybe some fundraisers. It's a little bit disturbing, to say the least, but at least he's out there. I want to give him kudos for that. And it's important that there is at least one person who is on a daily basis going out there and providing some type of briefs to change the narrative. So I'm happy Biden's doing it. I hope they could ramp it up, and I hope they could be a little bit more nimble on this whole thing. There are other people I would prefer doing it, but if he's the presumptive front runner, then he's the presumptive front runner. And it's important because you have Donald Trump going out there and spewing lies on a daily basis, lies after lies. Play this clip of Donald Trump on Friday, basically saying that hospital workers can sanitize and reuse masks. Why do they need so many new ones? Why the waste? Play this clip. Here we go.
A lot have already come in. I have to tell you, the throwing away of the mask, being in private business, the throwing away of the mask right away, they're thrown away. And when you hear 55 million masks, or what I'm saying, 55 million, how could it possibly be such a number? And they say, oh,
they're throwing away the masks. They throw them away. When you're in business, you know that you don't throw away the mask. If you ever wanted a better argument for why anything that is important to people, like life or death or health related, should not be in the hands of private business, Donald Trump just gave you the best argument. You could save a lot of money if you didn't, have to wash the scalpels every time you use it. Wipe them off, but you don't have to like sterilize them and do stuff like that. And why wear the gowns? Why wear the gowns? Just, you throw them away. That's expensive. Let's just have one gown, one set of gloves. Why so many gloves? You got a little blood on there? You wash them off. Little soap. Then you use the gloves again for the next patient. Here we go.
A lot have already come in. I have to tell you, the throwing away of the mask, being in private business, the throwing away of the mask right away, they're thrown away. And when you hear 55 million masks, or what I'm saying, 55 million, how could it possibly be such a number? And they say, oh, that's just a small fraction of what we need. And I said, why aren't we sanitizing masks? You look at the masks. I've looked at all the different masks. Some don't lend themselves to doing that, I think, but many do. And I said, why aren't we have very good liquids for doing this, sanitizing the masks. And that's something they're starting to do more and more. They're sanitizing the masks. And I don't know if anybody would like to speak to that.
Yeah, I like the look on Fauci's face, like, not me. No, I would not like to speak on that. I would not like to speak about what's involved with medical personnel or somebody presumably at the hospital whose job it is to handle all of these contaminated masks and presumably other things, and what's involved in them having to scrub and clean, put what? It's nuts. It's insanity. And it's just simply a way for him to cover for how they have completely screwed this up. And there is a just mounting evidence as to just how big of a screw up this is.